Now that we've made those 2 new beams, we can complete stage 4. So I've got that main assembly open. I've also got those 2 new beams open. First, I'm going to insert those new parts into the main assembly. So go to Assembly, Insert Components. I'm going to pin this menu open. First, I'm going to insert the 5 long one. I'm going to spin it around so it's in roughly the correct orientation, like this. And then I'm going to insert the 7, and I'm going to spin it around as well. We can then fix these in place using some mates. The first one is the small white one, so let's zoom in a little bit. Let's select this circular face, and then let's select the corresponding long face on the friction pin, and let's make those concentric. Next up, we should also be able to make the long blue pin concentric with one of the holes further back on the beam. So let's choose those 2 circular faces and make those concentric. And you can see that lines up the beam, so it's in exactly the right orientation. Then let's just choose the bottom of that short beam, and then choose the top of that green connector. And let's make those coincident. So we've now added that beam part in place. Next up, if you look at the instructions, we actually need to add another of those small black friction pins. With LEGO instructions, it can be quite easy sometimes to miss these little steps, but I think that's sometimes kind of part of the fun, trying to figure out what you've missed and why something doesn't fit together, or why you've got some extra parts left over. So we need to add another friction pin. To do this, you can find the file on your computer and insert it directly, or we can just copy one from the assembly already. To copy it from the assembly, let's hold down the Control key, and then left click and drag from one of the existing pins, and then just release the left mouse button to place that new part. I'm then going to mate that pin into this hole at the back using concentric mates. I'm going to set the position like so by adding a coincident mate on the bottom here. And then I'm just going to lock the rotation. So I'm going to go down to the bottom of the parts tree. I'm going to expand the mates. I'm going to find that latest concentric mate, which is this one. And I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to press lock rotation. And then we just have to position this long green beam at the back. First, let's add a concentric mate between that first hole and the blue pin. And you can see now we can actually move up and down and we can rotate around as well. But if we add another concentric mate here between this black pin and the second hole, we can no longer rotate. We can just move up and down. And then to fix the up and down movement, let's just choose this top face of the beam and then the corresponding face on the green beam and make those coincident. And then stage 4 is now complete. So we've started to build up that tail section on the back of the chopper. At this point, you can save your assembly. And in the next video, we'll be going on to stage 5 and making one new part.